Hey guys, it's been quite a while. Dream back here with another video to get you back in good shape. Today in this video, first check out pelvis, and according to that accurate check, we will also fix it. First, we're going to look at what's a neutral and natural pelvis. As you can see here, in the neutral pelvis, the frontal part of your pelvis is slightly lower than the back part of your pelvis. But if your pelvis gets out of balance, there are two cases. First one is called an excessive anterior pelvic tilt. The frontal part of your pelvis gets even lower and the back part of your pelvis gets even higher. So while a neutral pelvis has a slight natural anterior pelvic tilt, a pelvis out of balance has an excessive anterior pelvic tilt. So as natural pelvic tilt gets excessive, the spine that is built upon that foundation, that pelvis, gets excessive too. So you have a very arched lower back, you feel pain in your lower back, in your shoulders and also in your neck. The second case is a posterior pelvic tilt. As I told you, a neutral pelvis would have a slight natural anterior pelvic tilt. But what has happened to a posterior pelvic tilt? The frontal part has moved up and is in the same level with the back part of the pelvis or even higher. The problem with posterior pelvic tilt is as your pelvis tilts backward, the spine that is above it tilts backward too. And the natural nice arch that you should have in your lower back gets flattened. And most of the time, along with the flattening of your lower back, your upper back gets rounded. So here we have three kinds of pelvis: an excessive anterior pelvic tilt, a neutral pelvic tilt, and a posterior pelvic tilt. Okay guys, now let's check to which category my pelvis belongs. The first way to check your pelvis is by comparing the ASIS and the PSIS. First of all, you need to locate your ASIS. It's the most prominent part of the front of your pelvis. You can easily feel it. Just think of it as the edge of the front part of your pelvis. For those who have difficulty in finding it, you can also push your hip slightly forward, and then it's more easy to touch the ASIS. Now, as we have located the ASIS, we need also to locate the PSIS. Coming down from your spine, from your muscle, from your Quadratus Lumborum, from this part, moving down, you feel a bone at the lower part of your spine. It's not in the middle, but it's slightly apart from the middle, from the center of your spine, slightly to the left and also to the right. You will feel 2 points that are bony. It is likewise a very bony structure compared to the sensation that you feel in the surrounding areas. So it is very prominent, you can easily find it. Now, as we have found these 2 points, the first one, the ASIS, and at the back we have the PSIS. Now put your finger on your ASIS and your thumb on the PSIS. And you want to stand in front of a mirror and compare the difference in height between these 2 points. If you have natural anterior pelvic tilt, your ASIS should be slightly lower than your PSIS. In a neutral and healthy pelvis, this kind of height difference, level difference, would be from 1 to 2 centimeters. If the distance between the ASIS and the PSIS is more than 2 centimeters, like 3 or 4, you are in an excessive anterior pelvic tilt. Now, contrary to all of this, let's say that your ASIS is in the same level with your PSIS, or is even higher. So this point, the frontal part is higher than the back part of your pelvis. Then you are in a posterior pelvic tilt. Not all. Most of the times you will find this posture in senior people. Summarizing it up, the distance between the ASIS and PSIS in the neutral pelvis will be from 1 to 2 centimeters, varying from each individual. But in an excessive anterior pelvic tilt, the distance should be over 2 centimeters. 2.5 should be also okay, but let's say you have a 3 centimeters or 4 centimeter difference. That's a total excessive anterior pelvic tilt. In the posterior pelvic tilt, the distance is lower than 1 centimeter, sometimes even 0, or even worse, it's even in the minus area, which means that your ASIS is higher than your PSIS. Comparing the ASIS and the PSIS is the most accurate evaluation assessment of the pelvis. With the first one, there's also another way to check the pelvis. In an excessive anterior pelvic tilt, your hips unnaturally tip upwards. You can often see this feature in female celebrities in Hollywood. Now, contrary to this, in the posterior pelvic tilt, you have a more flattened hip. Your hip is pointing downwards. In an excessive anterior pelvic tilt, we have an overly arched low back. In the posterior pelvic tilt, you have flattening of your low back. In an excessive anterior pelvic tilt, your belly, especially the lower belly, is pointing more forward. Your ribs are flaring outward. Though you are skinny or you don't have lots of body fat, still you have this kind of lower belly that is pointing outward. In the posterior pelvic tilt, your abdominals, your belly gets crunched in. Now, as you have checked the pelvis, I will show you exercises to fix your pelvis. In the description and comment section, I'll post timeline marks. So just if you have a APT, move to that part. If you have a PPT, just skip the APT part and go to the PPT part. Let's get started.
Here you have some basic rules. Every movement should be done 2 sets from 10 to 20 seconds, as much as you feel comfortable to do. And every stretch should only be done in a comfortable range. Do not do a movement that makes you feel pain or any discomfort. Third, do them 2 to 3 times every day. Time and steadfastness, that is, doing them daily, is the key, so don't hurry. First, get in a lunge position like me. Move your hips forward with raising your hands. Try to squeeze your hips and you feel a nice stretch on the front side of your pelvis. Now the opposite side. When you move your hips forward and also squeeze your hips, this will increase the stretch that is felt on the iliopsoas, which is located on the front side of your pelvis. Grab your foot and drag it to your hips. You feel a nice stretch on the front side of your thigh, which is the rectus femoris. Now the opposite side. Like we did in the Iliopsoas stretch, you can squeeze your hips to increase the stretch that is felt on the front side of your thigh. Kneeling on the floor, bow to the front. You feel a soft and easy stretch along your spine, which is the Quadratus Lumborum. Do not seek a strong, intense stretch, but a very soft and easy stretch. Now we will stretch your right Quadratus Lumborum. Kneeling on the floor, bend to the left side and you feel a nice stretch on the right side of your low back. Here we go again, stretching the left Quadratus Lumborum. You have to bend to the right side this time. Standing with your feet pointing forward, slightly bend your knees and push your hip backwards. You feel a nice stretch on your hamstrings. Cross one leg like this and sit on that cross leg. You feel a nice stretch on the right side of your Gluteus Maximus which is your hip muscle. Now we do the opposite side. It is important that you fix your cross leg, the leg that you're sitting on. As you can see here, my left foot is pointing to the side throughout the movement. Lying on your belly, push your upper body from the ground and feel nice stretch on the front of your belly, on your rectus abdominis. It is important that you do not overextend your lower back. If you feel any pain, stop. Do it only to a degree where you feel comfortable.
Well done guys, when you do these movements, don't overdo yourself. It's not about intensity, it's not about strength, it's about steadfastness, consistency, and about doing it daily. Yes, daily is a keyword, so come back to this video every day. I put time markers for you so that you can easily click on them for the needed movements, and we can do them together. Take care.